Sangamon House Digital Services is a one-stop shop for video production and live streaming, serving the nonprofit community in the San Francisco Bay Area since 1997. We handle all aspects of production, from concept to delivery, to give you the best and effective, emotionally connected digital short films. We specialize in identity pieces, running from 5 to 7 minutes long usually, to enhance a website, a Facebook page, or as a video email. Let Sangamon House connect you with your audience. Check out some of our recent work.
John was actually a producer on my little TV show, The Durst Amendment, and I think he helped slide it through. It flew under the radar. I'm not sure that the management actually knew what they were getting, and he kept us in line. He was the guy who, he was the conscience of the show.
John and I worked on the PBS shows for years, and his music is he's such an incredibly gifted, talented, brilliant man.
I used to wonder, what is this guy doing? Every time I see him, he's not just winning one award, he's winning all the awards that are out there to win. Work always was excellent, always done with a sense of commitment.
These are the faces of Ethiopia, the faces of young girls, worried, burdened faces, as they confront a future of poverty, disease, and violence. They're part of a legacy of second-class citizenship that exists for women in certain cultures and countries around the world, a fact that cuts across all religious and tribal beliefs. Gender inequality prevents young girls and women from becoming everything that they can be. In families ravaged by poverty, malnutrition, and disease to begin with, violence and even kidnapping are perpetrated against girls and women on a daily basis. The facts lead to an obvious conclusion. Something needs to be done. Someone needs to step forward and say, it has to stop. Someone has to open up this dead end for young girls in Ethiopia and everywhere in the world so that they do not just survive, but thrive. Someone must take these precious human beings and create a place, a safe haven, where they can be served and protected. It's time for someone to step forward, and someone has.
I knew always in my heart I will do something in my life to make a difference, because that's the way I grew up. I was thinking I had to go back to my birth town, because I haven't been to my birth town for over 25 years.
Amid the concrete and the steel and all the trappings of modern city life, it's easy to forget that there is an earth below us, land and mountains and water that have silently supported us since civilization began. If you look close, you can still see that land and that water in little glimpses, as it used to be. If you look close, you can still see the San Diego River.
My father, when he was here in 1920, remembers this as being a flowing river. People used to boat up and down this river. And then when they put the dams in, of course, they essentially destroyed the river.
The river still flows, however, and now people of East San Diego County are taking the time to help it along.
Then we have people from all age ranges who are just fix-it types, and they're curious about how things work, so they have kind of grown up tearing things apart and putting them back together, and they just like to do that kind of thing.
No idea how many people are going to show. We've had everywhere from 300 people to our first event was 100 people. We'll see what happens. What we really would like to do is have people leave here with a sense of the value of participating in the repair and reuse of their own stuff. So to the degree that you can kind of engage them in the repair process, that is ideal.
This is Redwood City, located on the San Francisco Peninsula, populated by a diverse community of around 76,000 people. Since 1925, the city's slogan has been Climate Best by Government Test, an association that points to the idyllic lifestyle enjoyed by almost all its residents. However, as with all California cities, peace and tranquility can be at any time interrupted, and disaster is only a few moments away. When an emergency strikes in the form of a flood, a major fire, or more likely a major earthquake, disaster professionals are likely to be overwhelmed.
Through the 90s and into the new century, the festival evolved and grew, and the demands for preparation and teamwork increased accordingly.
Over the years, we've developed a very good division of labor because different people brought different strengths to the table. My job became setting up the sites, because I had the contact with the unions, ordering the food, setting up the hotel. So my organizational skill set lends itself to doing those logistical kinds of things.
I keep the minutes. I send them out every month. I anchor the registration desk at the festival, so I'm sort of trouble central, because quite often if people have a problem, they come to the registration desk.
Surrounding them was the heart of Ethiopia, unknown to Liz, unfamiliar even to the truck driver and his son. They sat forlornly on the front bumper of the truck, and in the fading sunlight saw a village, a group of 10 or 12 huts. Some men came toward them, shouting and carrying ropes. Liz stepped away from the truck, aware that she would soon be the center of attention, a Western woman traveling alone with 2 Ethiopian men. Using the ropes, the men attempted to haul the truck out of the mud. They tried again and again, but it wouldn't budge. With night falling quickly around them and soaked to the skin, Liz and the 2 drivers decided to make their way to the village, encouraged by the gestures and smiles of the local men. They soon encountered an old woman at the door to one of the huts, holding a lantern, which she waved at them. Later, the woman brought out a traditional coffee pot and a set of old but exquisite bowls.
Welcome to York.
With permission to use costumes and staging and musical numbers, along with other things. Traditional Christmas carols are original music, Dickens' original text. And we got permission to use the music for that in a thing that was then entitled The Music of Dickens, A Christmas Carol.
This second version of the show, The Music of Dickens, A Christmas Carol, played from 1995 to 2004. The staging grew more elaborate, and casts sometimes numbered more than 100. The donations to the community were staggering, as were the demands for technical and logistical support. It's not enough to be solely a good actor or actress to be in the gift. You must also know a little something about sewing and costume restoration, or how to operate a drill, and be hardy enough to move heavy set pieces. Doing the gift is not for the faint of heart.